Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on The World Beyond Season 2 Episode 7. As is the norm with all my videos, I won't be holding back on any spoilers, so please do keep that in mind. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. I really like this episode. I think that this episode is the best episode of the entire series. I mean, I can't speak for episode 8 because I haven't watched it yet. I know it is available on AMC+, I just haven't had the time to watch it. But from what I've seen of The World Beyond, this is the best episode of the entire show. It was really good. I wasn't expecting much going into this season, especially considering that I didn't like the first 2 episodes of it either, because they seemed to just contain all the problems that I had in season 1. It seemed to be a continuation of the first season. But since kind of episode 3, episode 4, it seems like the show's really turned it around. I'm actually enjoying it a lot now, and I think it's worth watching, so let's talk about this episode. The episode begins with Dr. Belshaw experimenting on this random dude who I assumed must have been bitten, because why else would he have been chosen as a test subject? However, I couldn't actually see any visible bite marks on the guy. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, let me know if you could see any, but I couldn't see any bites, so perhaps this dude was just a healthy regular guy who just so happened to piss off the Civic Republic, which is why they decided to experiment on him. I guess ultimately it doesn't matter if he's bitten or not because he ends up dead, because Dr. Belshaw flat out kills him. What happens next is that Belshaw releases like this toxic green gas, this green toxin into the room that he's in, and it suffocates him and causes him to die. And the reason as to why she does this is because that she believes this toxin can delay the reanimation process. So I think she says to Jadis later on in the episode that she's now got it up to 8 hours. She can use this toxin, a person won't turn into a walker for 8 hours. And I guess the end goal of this is to create something which will stop people turning completely, stop people turning into walkers at all. I mean, it doesn't really help if the toxin kills them first though, but I guess that's the point she's trying to get to and what the Civic Republic want to get to. Her experiments reminded me of a lot of what Troy was doing back in the 3rd season of Fear the Walking Dead, when he was just like shooting people of different races and then writing down in his notebook how long it took them to turn. And it's kind of depressing really, because when you think about it, it's been at least 10 years in universe since that season of Fear, I guess, I'm not entirely sure, but it kind of seems like that since then the Civic Republic haven't really made any progress. They're still at the same place that Troy was all those years ago, still trying to wait for people to turn, see how long it takes them to turn, and later on in the episode it turns out that this guy actually reanimates before 8 hours anyway, which shows that the toxin that Belshaw has created doesn't even work. So it's kind of depressing, when you think about it, because it doesn't seem they've made any progress. The Civic Republic, with all their resources, all the scientists to back them up, are still in exactly the same situation that this lunatic was in season 3, who just liked killing people and wanted to write it down in the name of science. So yeah, kind of depressing when you think about it. And it makes me question as to whether anyone will ever find a breakthrough in the world of The Walking Dead and ever find out how to stop walkers turning, because I don't think they will. Shortly after Dr. Belshaw kills this dude, she's rounded up and taken away by some CR soldiers because they know that one of the vials has been taken from the lab. And they know this because, as Dr. Belshaw says later on in the episode, every vial has like a sensor on it, so they know it's been taken. And she's taken away for questioning, and the person that the CR put in charge of this whole operation to try and, find out the answer to this mystery, find out where the missing vial is Jadis. And once again, Jadis is absolutely phenomenal in this episode. She's the best thing about it. She's really good, and every time she was on screen I was tense, I was nervous, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, at the start of the episode she's seen questioning Silas as to why and how he ended up at the CR research lab, and although she's firm with Silas, I wouldn't say that she's horrible to him. I mean, she goes out of her way to compliment him and says that he has like a good physique and good feet. I mean, it sounds better when you watch it on the TV show. It's not as odd as I'm making it out to be, but she compliments him on his size and says that he'd make a great soldier and that kind of stuff. I mean, I guess you could argue maybe she was doing that to put him at ease and make him easier to interview, I don't know, but she's never really horrible to him. So at this point I'm thinking, oh, maybe she's like a double agent, maybe she secretly hates the Civic Republic, maybe she's going to help the protagonist, who knows. But then come the end of the episode she does something that is so fucking vile that I was just like, nope, she's a villain. She's not going to help our characters, and it completely changed my opinion of her. But I liked it. I think she was great, and I'll talk about what she does later on in the review. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself now, but yeah, she was brilliant this episode. Dr. Belshaw goes to Dr. Bennett's place and tells him that the CR are coming. They're going to come and they're going to question you about this missing vial. Can you please tell me where it is so I can go and find it, and then I can just pretend I misplaced it, and then hopefully the Civic Republic won't hurt anyone, they won't kill us. But before Dr. Bennett can really give her an answer about it, the Civic Republic soldiers enter the place and take him away, and he's taken away for questioning, and he's questioned by Huck and Jadis. And whilst he's being questioned, season, Dr. Belshaw takes Iris and Hope to her secret lab and basically tells her about what she's been doing. It's at this point that she comes clean to Hope and Iris, and she tells them about what happened at the campus. She said that the campus colony, they were gassed with the same toxin that she's been using, I guess, and then they placed like walkers there afterwards just to make it look like walkers had attacked when actually it was the Secret Republic who killed them all. And I'm guessing they did that to test how long it would take these people to turn, but to also get more test subjects so they could bring the bodies back with them to the lab. I mean, you know, it's an okay explanation, I guess, but like Negan said in The Walking Dead, people are a resource. Like, I don't know why you would need to wipe out 50,000 people. Surely you could have taken a few more people than Hope and Iris from that place who could have helped you. And also, I kind of can't get my head around the logistics of like moving 50,000 dead bodies to the Civic Republic to use as experiments to be tested on. Okay, maybe they didn't move everyone, and I understand that the Civic Republic are a huge place and, you know, have all these resources, but yeah, I don't know, it just did seem a bit, it seems like overkill, just seems a bit strange, but I don't know, it's an okay explanation, but yeah, picking holes in it does seem a bit strange. Anyway, back to Jadis and Huck. They take part in questioning Dr. Bennett, and Huck is like the main questioner, so she's like the lead interviewer, as it were, and she really busts Dr. Bennett's balls because she asks him like all these personal questions, like, you know, how did you just first meet your girlfriend, and do you love her, to ask about the kids, etc. And I remember last season saying that I didn't really care about Jadis and Hope's dad, like he was just there, I didn't care about him, but you know what, I'm starting to like him. I thought his answers were genuine. It's obvious that he cares about his kids. Yeah, I think he held himself well in the interview, didn't crack under pressure, and yeah, I'm starting to like the guy. He's okay with me. I think he's a cool character. What happens next is that Dr. Belshaw enters the room with the vial, and instead of sticking to the very story that she herself created by saying it was misplaced and I found it, she comes clean, and she basically drops all the characters in the shit. She says that, oh yep, they took it, they were working together, they took it, no more lying, they asked me to cover up, I'm here now. What an absolute dick. It was just such a shitty thing to do. But then part of me does wonder that maybe her seeing Jadis, maybe she realised that, you know, Jadis isn't dumb enough to fall for a little story. So maybe she was like, right, I'm just going to come clean because Jadis isn't going to fall for this shit. She's going to know I didn't misplace it. So perhaps that was part of the reason why she told the truth as well. She goes on to tell Dr. Bennett everything about the experiments and everything that they've been working on. And she says to Jadis that, oh, you can't kill Dr. Bennett now. He has to come work with me. He's too important. And we will work on this together for the better of mankind, and we'll work on this together. We're too important. And I mean, Jadis does initially agree in the room. She's like, yep, okay, you can go help her. I agree to that. But then as soon as they get out of the room, she has other ideas. I mean, that scene was bloody brutal. Jadis kills Dr. Belshaw by locking her in the same room with the man that she killed herself earlier on in the episode. It's... wow, yeah. One of the best scenes, in my opinion, in the entire Walking Dead universe. I loved it. I loved it. Jadis even quotes the same line of dialogue that Dr. Belshaw said earlier on to Iris and Hope, because she says to Iris and Hope, the rat will get tired but the walker won't, and she's referring to like a video clip she has of this walker in a room who's chasing this rat round the room, and then Jadis says, oh, the rat will get tired but the walker won't, and in this situation she is the rat. And yeah, I just like that. I really like that. I thought, wow, that's fucking cruel, but I like that. What follows is this scene of Dr. Belshaw running around the lab trying to get away from this walker and like desperately banging on the door saying, please help me, please help me. And I guess, you know, some people might argue, oh, this is a bit dumb, why doesn't she just kill the walker? But let's not forget, Dr. Belshaw is a scientist, right? She's probably never had any fighting experience in her life. She's never had to fight a walker. She's not a Jadis, she's not a Michonne or a Rosita. She's a scientist, you know, she's like Eugene. She can't look after herself, or certainly like Eugene was when he was first introduced on The Walking Dead. And yeah, it's just really cruel because, I mean, this scene only goes on for like, well, it's not that long at all. Like a minute maybe she's running around before she kind of just breaks down and gets eaten by the walker. But it feels like we're watching her being tortured for hours on end. And yeah, it's really difficult to watch. Her death isn't actually that gruesome compared to some of the other deaths on The Walking Dead. I mean, you know, it's not like we see brains and her eyeball coming out and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely not the most violent death on The Walking Dead. But I think because of the way it was set up, to me, it will go down as one of the most disturbing. Considering Dr. Belshaw's past, I really should have been glad that she died. I mean, she was complicit in the killing of thousands. She did nothing to stop what happened at the campus colony. She killed that dude at the start of the episode, the very same dude who ends up eating her. And she's not a nice person, but I didn't enjoy seeing her die this way. I felt really sorry for her trying to see her desperately escape this walker, and I guess that's a testament just to how good this death scene is. Huck is obviously shocked at seeing Jadis do this, but then Jadis turns around and says to Huck that my job is to eliminate security threats. This lady was a security threat because she told Dr. Bennett about what we're doing, and now I've taken care of it. And I mean, that's just ice cold, Jadis. That is really ice cold. Jadis then says to Huck that Dr. Bennett will now take over her work, and he will be extra motivated because he has kids, so he will get results quicker. And basically, she's threatening Iris and Hope. So yeah, you know what I said earlier about me not being sure of Jadis's intentions and not being sure of her motivations. This was the point when I was like, my god, yeah, she's just fucking an evil bitch, but I love it. I love it. Huck then realizes that Jadis knew from the start that Bennett was covering for Dr. Belshaw, and basically this was the outcome that she wanted. She wanted Dr. Belshaw dead. She wanted Bennett to take his place because Belshaw wasn't getting the results that the CR wanted. She hadn't made any significant progress, and now with Dr. Bennett there, he's going to have to make progress, otherwise his kids will be killed. So this is exactly the outcome that Jadis wanted. And Jadis even says to Huck after, it's been a productive day, which reminded me of Negan when he says like, it's been a productive damn day or something. I think that's when he goes to Alexandria. Yeah, it reminded me of that, and I was just thinking, my god, Jadis, she really is something else. She really is like a nasty piece of work. But like I've said many times already, I think it's great. She's a fantastic villain. Anyway, there's a few other things I want to mention before I wrap this video up. Firstly, I found Silas to be pretty damn likable once again. I like the fact that Huck's husband, I can't remember his name, I like the fact that he came in and kind of pulled him out of questioning when Jadis was trying to question him and took him away and covered for him. And, you know, he did it because he likes him. He did it to protect him. And I like the fact that Silas now finally has like this father figure who actually cares for him because he never had that previously. But this does make me think this dude's going to die because it always happens, doesn't it, on these shows? As soon as someone finds someone who likes them, who cares about them, they normally end up getting killed. But we'll see. But yeah, I like that, and once again I like Silas. I like the scene in which Percy confronted Huck because he realised that killing her would be a suicide mission. You know, he would have just gotten killed himself straight after, so he basically walks away and decides not to do it. I mean, that's not to say he won't kill her later on. He may kill her once they've escaped, who knows? But yeah, I like that scene as well. Once again, I found Hope and Iris to be the worst part of the episode. They have this little scene, like this little stealth scene where they're hiding from the CR soldiers who are trying to find them. I haven't mentioned it until now, but just because it's kind of so forgettable, I just didn't really care about it. It didn't do anything for me. I think, you know, part of the reason why I'm enjoying The Well Beyond more than last season is because the adults have been kind of given more focus and more screen time. I mean, Felix, Huck and Jadis are all kind of been given more time than the kids this season, and I think that works. I mean, I do like some of the kids, but I just think that Huck and Iris are, yeah, they're not good. They're not good, and they're the worst part of the episode. But aside from that, I don't really have many other complaints. I thought this was a really good episode. Best episode of The Well Beyond so far. I liked it, and I'm looking forward to watching episode 8 and reviewing that. Hopefully that will be out not too long. Fingers crossed I can get it done. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the show. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all very soon. Let me know if you liked it, let me know if you disliked it, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Goodbye.